The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yo, we're here on Fever Pitch. We're back after being out for about 2 weeks. We're finally back. I'm your boy Jonah. This is
Amanda Fernandez from
Seekat
FC.
Oh, from where? From where?
Seekat FC.
Always got to throw that out there. And we got a special guest today. Want to introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Hans Smit.
This is Coach Hans.
I'm
Easy
new
on
to
those
the sport.
deep breaths into the mic there, please. Calm down with the deep breaths. So today we're going to learn about Coach Hans. As being a player in the Philippines, I don't know much about his coaching history or his playing history, so we're hoping that today I'll get a little knowledge on you, Coach Hans.
Sure.
Get to know you better on a personal level, and then we will have Amanda, who will be grilling you with about, I think she said 25 questions or so.
Only.
Is that correct? only 25 questions, is that correct?
No, just about 10, but
About
may
10.
last for about 25 minutes.
Oh, may it last for about 25 minutes. Sorry, that's my bad. Sorry there. So let's get started right away. So dang, my forehead looks shiny. So we've been gone a while. Coach Hans, like I said, I don't know much about your playing history or your coaching history. Where do you want to start off? You want to start with your playing history?
Yeah, well, that's best to start where I started playing. Well, I started playing in Salle Green Hills since elementary. I started at 12. Actually, I started late. I started playing basketball first, but it got boring. I needed more excitement, so I got into football. Started grade 6, all the way up to college. I played for UP, Diliman. Then I played for a club called Real Juventud. It's a bunch of friends, close friends from La Salle, Ateneo, and from UP. We got together, and on our first year, we ended up playing right away in the first division. We never dropped down, considering we had no coach. We just had to play. And afterwards, after my playing years at UP, I dropped out of college because it was boring. And there was an opening in La Salle Sobel for a coach. And I went there after about 2 months of thinking about it. I thought I was going to the province of Batangas because it was so far away from where I lived. I lived in New Manila, and I said, where the F am I going? Because
You can curse on this show. Don't worry about it.
I can, very good.
You can let her rip
That's
on
my
this
kind
show.
of
Don't worry
show.
about yourself. You can.
Went to La Salle Sobel, applied as a coach, but I ended up being the head of the athletic department and the PE department, undergrad. I was the youngest director in the whole country at 21. I put up the program of La Salle Sobel, the sports program, varsity. Of course, the first coaches that I hired were all my friends from college who were in sports majors, and some referrals. And then from there, just like what they say, that's the history of it. I started my coaching in 1983, professionally in 83. I was also the youngest coach in the Philippines when I started, professionally. And it's 32 years after.
Wow.
And you're still here, huh?
I'm still alive.
You haven't gone and coached anywhere else?
I had offers in the States, the La Salle in San Francisco, Moraga.
Wow.
In Moraga, and something happened that didn't push through. Then I had an offer, this country, Falklands, I think it's Falkland. They speak Danish there. It's a small country. That one, the talks didn't really come out too well. I don't like talking. If it's going to be professional, it's professional. So I laid it out. Then I said, I'm happy here. Might as well stay here in the Philippines.
Yeah, true. But UP and La Salle, isn't there like a rivalry? Or
No.
There's not?
La Salle plays the NCAA. UP plays in the UAAP.
Okay.
If we ever get to play against each other, it's the other tournaments, like the first, second, third divisions. So that's. Okay. But if it's a school league, a school rivalry, there's really none, except for in the UAAP, NCAA. Right now, like last year, they started the Phil Oil University Collegiate Championships, wherein all the UAAP and NCAA teams compete against each other.
Wow.
I'm fortunate enough to have won that first championship, but did badly in the UAAP after.
So the way I met Coach Hans, or have gotten to know Coach Hans, is through the UFL. He's very involved with the Green Archers. So LaSalle is like the, would you say, the feeder program into?
No, the history of the Green Archers United is during the qualification year, where there were 16 teams, right? So they were looking for the top 8 teams and the bottom 8 teams that would make the first and second divisions. Since I am a member, my collegiate team, the LSU, is a member of the UFL since way back. I played with my college boys, and I just added 2 of my assistant coaches, Tating Pasilan and Elvin Marceliana. And we did pretty well because out of 16 teams, we came out number 6, and we were the youngest team. Air Force came out champion there, but thanks to the help of the referees, we were the only teams that we were supposed to beat. We were supposed to beat them, but this is the first time I played in an injury time. 14 minutes the referee gave the Air Force. So of
14-minute
course,
injury time?
yeah, gave 14
Unheard of.
minutes. So of course, Chiefy, the little rat that he was, ran ramshot around my players, my kids, and they drew us.
Yeah.
But we were up 3-0.
Yeah, that sounds
But that's an
tough.
experience. That's
what
good.
was that? What year was that?
First year of the qualification was 3 years ago. If the UFL right now is on the 3rd year, then 3 years ago. The first year of qualification.
Nice. Now, you're also involved with women's football.
Very much, yeah.
That's where this one kicks in over here with her women's football. So we get to the women's side of it now that we got some history going on.
Coach Hans has been very pivotal in the movement of women's football here in the Philippines, and so I was very excited to have him come on the show just to talk to us a little bit about women's football in general, as well as the progress or development here in the country. As you can see, his shirt right now is Pinay football. So why don't you talk to us a little bit about Pinay football and this shirt you're wearing?
Well, Pinay football, this came about a few years back, when some young former players who are still active, who just want to still play football, came up and brought up the idea about putting up a group mainly just for women's football and girls football. I said that's a good idea because there's really no one really that goes on. There was the MMGFA, but it's
That's
fading,
right.
but it's dying a natural death, right? We need a new kick, wherein a new group would come in and do what the MMGFA has been trying to do to help develop women's football here. We start here with Metro Manila first,
Right.
because I would like to move up nationally, which I can explain. I can tell you later that I have a plan for next summer.
Oh, great. Okay, that was my last question in the
Whoa,
interview.
whoa. Man, I got excited there. Whoa, great.
My first question would be, how many women's teams are actually registered in the NCRFA?
Registered.
Registered.
I will be lucky to say we have 10, but there are actually more teams.
There
Just so
are-
you guys know, I'm letting Amanda take over this one. Sounds like a personal
No.
personal thing going on here with women's football. Don't got much to say about it. I'll just sit back and
Enjoy the
let
show,
you grow,
Jonah.
Coach Hans. I'll enjoy the show today, guys. I'll enjoy back here.
Yeah, just lay back there and,
Yeah, I'll just lay back here.
and learn a little bit of girls football here.
Don't piss her off, Coach Hans.
Yeah.
So we're lucky if we can say 10. So why we don't even have records of women's teams in the province, and the NCRFA is supposed to be in charge of that, or is it another governing body?
Well, this is how it goes. Just like in the FIFA, how'd you say, the ladder. When he comes to the Philippines, NCRFA is supposed to be in charge of football here in Metro Manila.
Okay.
So if we're talking about the province, if we're going to talk about the country, then we need to talk about the Philippine Football Federation.
Right.
The
right.
PFF is supposed to take care of national and international affairs.
Okay.
And unfortunately, there's none going on. There's really none. MMGFA, it came out from personal interests again. We've been going on for over a decade, quite a long time now.
I
but
was involved in the
yeah.
MGFA.
we came out from like Adam's rib, right? To put up something for girls, because there were a lot of high school girls playing, and there was no venue for them to compete. There was nobody who was going to take care of it.
Right.
So we took it upon ourselves to do something about it. But eventually, the Filipino, they love the politics. They love, and I hate politics, so I jumped out. Even if I jumped out, there's still issues that are being made. I don't know why, because there were other teams and clubs that jumped way before me, and there was no noise. But when Coach Hans did, there was so much noise. When I said,
Big status.
"Why me? Why only me?"
Big boy status.
Well, yeah. That's a sad part. But you know what? I really don't care what happens with this politics. I'm going to do what is needed to continue developing the girls' sport, for the football for girls, for the women, for the young ones.
Right.
And because if nobody does it, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
And I'm fortunate enough now, at least I can work with the Pinay football, which is led by Christine Nolan and NJ Joaquin. They are just two, but I can see that the interest is there.
Right.
I just hope it keeps up. And what we need is more members to, not really members like you're talking about the NCRFA, PFF,
You mean more teams?
No. More people involved. Just a couple of people cannot do everything.
Right.
More of a committee? You mean
Yeah,
like
committee,
more
people,
staff?
not really, I don't want to sound it like too professional, wherein, you need to have the president, you have to have the vice president, you have to have the gen sec and all this. No, that's all bull. It's just people that want to help the sport. That's the most important thing.
Like genuinely
Yes,
want to help.
sincerely
without-
wants to help out.
Right, without
And not-
any ulterior motive
Yes, exactly.
of
Because
making money.
what's funny, Jonah, just for you to know, decades ago, nobody wanted to touch football, Philippine football, let alone Metro Manila football, with a 10-foot pole, right? And when the Ascals started doing well, and thanks to Dan Palami should be called the man of the century, because it was he who started getting all these Phil foreigners and all this to play for the Philippine team. And it jump-started football
Very
again. I don't know, for the nth time, no? Jump-start. And luckily, UFL was there already and became bigger, so it was a domino effect. But what's funny is, people that were never in the scene, I've been in the scene for over 3 decades. I've never seen these people. Then suddenly they pop out from the woodworks like termites. And talking like they know everything, right? So me, I just keep my distance now, and I just do what I do with my LaSalle teams, with my the women's projects, and handling other tournaments for kids, for what have you, and just continue just doing what I do. Exactly. That's why when people say I'm a little high-strung, I'm a little high-strung when people throw politics into my face and saying this and that about me, that I do this because I have these ulterior motives. If I had ulterior motives, then I'd have 2 Harley Davidsons, I'd have a Mercedes, I would have a BMW. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm dirt poor. I work for my. I was going to say shit. I work for
You can
everything
say
I
shit
have.
on here.
Yeah.
Shit. So
I
you can
work
say
for-
it.
Just say it, let
You
it
can
out.
say it if you want.
No, that's the sad part here. That's the sad part here in the Philippines. I have a bad rap regarding my rep. Okay, because everybody thinks, oh, Coach Hans is always mad. He's always mad. That's a face I put up when I train. Because Amanda knows this. Amanda has been with me. She's been with me in Europe and all that. She knows how I act when it comes to football. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? I'm more than 100%.
Nice.
The passion is there. No one's going to question my passion about the sport. And I have even more passion to try to help Philippine football. But, of course, people saying that I'm a foreigner here. And I say this, I say that. Nothing goes through. But let's just put it this way. There's a lot of people here who are suddenly football gurus. Okay? I'm not saying everyone, but there are. But the ones who make a lot of noise are hardly the ones that you can, expect to do something about. The ones who are quiet are the people that we really need to get out, and
Why
push.
do you think these people are being quiet about such an issue we feel like we need to develop?
No, because it's same thing like I just said. It's
They want to lay off the politics?
yeah.
Or,
I mean,
They just don't want to get involved with all the BS.
yes, yeah. But
Bullshit.
I always want to get out of the BS, out of politics.
yeah.
But I'm always in. I'm always in.
They want
no
you.
matter what happens, I'm always in.
Your shit deep.
I mean, even if I'm not involved, my name comes out. And let's just put it this way, during the technical committee meetings of the UFL, there are some policies in the UFL now. That's my idea. If anybody else says, no, we did it. Okay, fine. You go ahead and take the honor, take the glory. I don't care. That's yours. Fine, take it. I'm 55 years old. I've been doing this for 32 years. These people come out and say things, and okay, fine, take the glory. There's a joke always in the sari-sari stores here around in the metropolis or in the provinces. The sari-sari store says, your credit is good, but we need cash. So that's a joke I always tell people. When they say, oh, your name is there in the papers, you're on TV. Like I say, it's okay, the credit is good, but I need cash. So I don't care. I don't care for the positions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to be shown on TV or be in the papers or whatever. I'm not, how do you say, KSP, kulang sa pansin. Translate, darling.
Yeah, translate
Needing
that.
attention.
Needing attention.
He's not the type of person who needs attention.
There's the translation.
So that's a sad part, mainly, at least as far as I'm concerned. That's the saddest part, because a lot of people love to talk, but nothing comes out.
Well, we're here on Fever Pitch. If you want to call anybody out or call anyone to fight, this is the time to do it. If you got any
They know they are.
any name dropping.
No, that's the one thing I don't do. I don't name drop. There are a lot of people who love to name drop. People who are hitting me left and right, behind and front and whatever, sideways. Then suddenly they meet friends of mine who are in positions, suddenly say, oh yeah, Hans Smit is a good friend of mine. But actually that person has been trying to destroy me, for years. Yeah, but, well, like I said, I have a foundation, I have a base. What are you going to destroy from me? I mean, everybody knows I'm here for football. You don't like what I do? Tough luck. Get out. I don't need you. It's as simple as that.
Is it like that both men's and women's side? Both sides?
Yeah.
Same shit on both sides?
Same.
Damn, looks
Same,
like
same.
you got a problem.
But
I do, because considering the status of women's football in this country isn't even as developed as the men's, and there's already all this politics going on. I mean,
exactly.
That's why I'm here to kind of ask you what you think we should be doing about, or what people in the position should be doing to really try and get women's football going.
Well, like I said, I've been deep into what has been happening with women, men, boys, whatever. Like I say, let's just go ahead and do it. We just do the proper protocol, okay? We're not stepping on anybody's toes. So why not? Just go ahead and do it. Because remember, any one of us, we are all stakeholders in football. If we want to call FIFA right now, we can. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has a hold on football. Nobody in this world, nobody has a hold on football. All of us, anybody, any Tom, Dick, and Harry can do something for football. We have a Filipino retired referee. There's one law in FIFA rules that was suggested, recommended, and passed by a Filipino. Nobody knows that. But the problem is this guy is up to now lives with it. Since it's been done years ago, he still lives with it and thinks that it's a mentality thing, it's an attitude thing. But like I'm saying, any one of us, if there's a big problem, can always call FIFA, go to AFC, tell him what's happening here. Because nobody, no one entity holds and controls football. No one. Anybody can do what they want. But there is a plantilla type of thing, where you need to do the right it's a proper decorum, proper protocol that you've got to go through here, so you get sanctions and all this.
Right.
But since things have been happening again now that come up, there are people who want to give us a hard time, right? Like the Pinay football, I got the sanction on the 11th hour. Literally on the 11th hour. About 11 p.m. before we started our opening. Nobody knows that. I had to burn the lines. I had to scream, I had to curse a few times. Well, I don't scream, I don't curse a few times. I do it a lot. But, but what I'm saying
As
is,
you can tell.
it doesn't have to be that way, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If everyone in different committees are really in it for football,
Exactly.
I don't think we'll have this problem.
Yeah.
Of course, people will, if people see this, they'll tell me, I'm sure some people call me saying, what were you saying? Exactly. People call me and ask me, what were you saying? That's the politics I'm saying. Leave me alone. Let me talk. Let me say what I believe and what I see.
Can I live? Can I live a little?
Yeah, I
Let
mean, you
me
know.
live.
Can I live?
Well, the problem is, the people, there are a lot of people, if it's football community, I know everyone. I know everyone. Not just as acquaintances, but friends. But everybody's got their own individual motives. Because they have other stuff that they're doing also. Well, I'm happy with what I'm doing. You know, I've got a grassroots program in LaSalle, a very long time. LaSalle Sobel, I've got a grassroots since 1980 something. Okay? It's still going on. Do I get a single centavo? No. Why? Because the little that the kids and the parents pay, I give that to my coaches, to my trainers. You handle it. Of course, they come to me only when there's a problem. But what I'm saying is, genuinely, sincerely for football, if people love to talk, come out. Come out. Okay? Come out. Let's have a forum. Let's see. Let's talk. And let's do something about it. Talk is cheap. That's what I always say. Talk is cheap.
This is a formal invitation for an open forum with
Call them out.
Coach.
Call them out. Calling everybody out. Want to talk? Coach Hans wants to talk.
My question is, have you tried to contact FIFA yourself or the AFC and tell them what's happening here? I mean, if anyone can go contact them, have you personally tried?
If I do that, I feel like I'm a coward. I can handle it here, my way. You know, it's not that bad. It just pisses me off.
Right.
Because it slows down the development, the progress. Instead of you know, just go and let's do something. Don't say you're not supposed to do this. That's not sports. You know what I'm saying? If we're really into sports, just like what's happening now with the Ascals and the Malditas and the futsal for the SEA Games, this is all bull. That's not sport. Like I posted before, send them. How will the Filipinos be able to represent the country? You don't send them what? For gold? Why? Where's the budget?
True.
Malacanang gives budget for sports. What, you're not wasting money if you send out losers? How would you know if they're losers or not?
Coach Hans is scaring the shit out of me right now, by the way. So I'm kind of quiet over here. I'm getting scared. He sounds pissed off.
That's sports.
He's speaking as a frustrated coach who genuinely cares about women's football and its development, but is wanting to stay away from all the politics. And we don't blame him because of all the people out there over the years in his experience who have continued to just talk and talk and talk and possibly maybe backstabbed him and you know, hindering the development of football in general. And you know, he's here to talk about it, and I feel like 1 hour is not even enough.
This shit is serious, guys. There's some tension in here.
So coffee will take 2 hours.
Coach Hans needs a glass of coffee and a pack of cigarettes. Help him out.
No, that's the bottom line. Personally, okay, personally, I'm not saying that the others feel this way. Maybe the others feel the same way, but they don't just talk. They don't want to bring it out because they don't want to hurt somebody. Like that. Who am I hurting if I say this? If you know, it's like this. It's simple. It's simple. If anybody reacts violently to what I've been saying, then they're guilty.
Yeah, obviously.
Right?
You know?
I mean, come on. What are we here for? What are we here for? That's what I told the UFL before also. What are we here for? To make money or to help develop football? So, you know.
One question. Is it true or false that statistically the women's national team here in the Philippines has a better chance of making it to the World Cup over the men's?
Statistically. True or false? True or false?
Well, you have to look at it another way.
That was
You have to look. You have to look at it the other way. It's possible. I've always said that women's football, compared to men's football, let's say, okay, men's football has been there for decades and decades, right? Women's football just started. But from what I see from my personal experience, not just in the Philippines, but around the world, in Asia, China, you know, Chinese against the Europeans and Americans. Right. They were world champions, right? Yeah. Japan, who would ever thought? But what I'm saying, statistically, if you're talking about the growth and the progress, yes, it's possible for women's football.
Statistically.
Because men's football's everywhere. Men's football's everywhere. It's all over. Women's football, it's not all over yet. But the mere fact that Iran and all these Muslim countries are starting to play with their veil and all this covered up under the heat, but they're still there. That just shows you something, that women want to play. Like a good friend of mine, very good friend of mine who passed away, I think if he was alive, he would have said a lot also, have done a lot for Philippine football, Chris Monfort. He always says that the mothers, these players like Amanda and all this, are the future mothers of future football players, whether it be a boy or a girl.
Right.
So having the women play is a bigger advantage than just having the men. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not putting anything down before anybody says again anything, okay? Just shut up and just listen and be a little bit more mature to understand what I'm saying. You know, it is possible. It is possible. I've said this years ago. I've said it years ago, but I don't know why it never came out on print, because I think people are afraid. Like decades ago, when the press asked me what is ailing Philippine football, I just say one thing: basketball. It never comes out. Why? Because of course the press are under some of the teams, basketball teams. They will not say what I say, or else they might just get. You know, I always tell some of the press, why is it here in the Philippines, even for sports, instead of developmental, it's envelopmental. You know what I'm saying? If it's they say hospitality, it's house-spitality. And there's one more, I just forgot what it was. But you know, and what do the press say? They turn around, they cringe. If I have to say things like this, why will people react to me differently? Being honest here in the Philippines is hard, huh? It's hard to be honest here. But that's life.
Does your team ever play Amanda's team? Do you guys ever play each other?
Yeah.
Who wins?
Most of the time, my team wins. But they beat us the last time.
No, that's false, actually. If you want
statistically,
who
wins the most?
Is a very competitive team, and most of the time wins. We are winners.
But for the record, women's football, no one's going to beat LaSalle's record. No one.
What's the record?
The university games, this is the whole Philippines. I've always been saying 8-peat. When the office tells me, Coach, you've won it 9 straight years. 9 straight years, and I'm a school team, not a club team. Club team, you can have players all the time. School team, you have a certain number of players for this number of years, then they change, you get younger ones all the time. I did it for 9 years, and for, I don't know how many, 14, 15 years, I think, we're always in the finals. UAAP, we had a 4-peat. We're the only ones with a 4-peat. We should have gotten the 5th peat. The 5 straight years, only basketball screwed us all up, because that years back there was a scandal of some sorts of some players ineligible that played and all that. And we didn't play that year. But that year I had the strongest team. I still had the strongest lineup. Steph Pheasant, Stephanie and all this. They were there. They were on their final year, and I would have gotten the 5th year. So that record, I'm very proud of. The women's record. Of course, I have more championships with the men and the boys because I've been doing that for 32 years. Well, with the women, I only started with, how many years? Okay? And trivia. La Salle Sobel is the first high school girls team in the Philippines. I started that.
Did you ever play for Coach Hans?
Yes, NCRFA. We won.
Oh, yeah?
that.
Selection.
Yeah. Under 17.
National for the national finals.
Champion.
Nice. That's the only time you played for Coach Hans?
Yes, because you didn't coach us in Gothia.
No.
No.
But I always take them under my wing, no matter what. Whoever's with me, I take them under my wing. Anybody who wants to listen, I take them under my wing.
I can honestly say, like, being under Coach Hans or knowing him over the years, like, I've developed into one of the best players I could ever become, especially when I was seeing him more often in practice, because, you know, he would tell it to me like it is. Like, if I was slow in sprinting after practice, Amanda, go sprint there. And I would be the only one sprinting. But, you know, at the end of the day, I scored 2 goals in the championship, and I was, like, so proud of that, because, like, every practice I would have to do extra just to help out. And I feel like people who are really under Coach Hans benefit as they become better, like a better soccer player, like mentally, emotionally, physically, because he pushes them to the limit, and that's what.
And they end up speaking better, huh? They don't curse. They don't. They become nice people.
I'm sure the vocabulary changes a lot. So is women's football going on right now? Are the women playing?
We just finished a week ago, 2 weeks ago, the first Pinay Football League. We really wanted to get a lot more teams, but some UFL clubs who said they wanted to go, last minute say they couldn't get players and all that. So we ended up with 9. We were looking at
9 teams.
9 teams.
That's pretty good, right?
And really competitive teams, yeah.
We were aiming for at least 12 to 14 initially. The thing is, the problem in Jonah with the women's football is, after college, only a few, like the likes of Amanda and my former players, continue. You know, even some of them are already married, mothers. They still love to play. They're still there. But there's still a lot more. But they have opted to go with another life, continue with their professional life, motherhood and all this. And maybe they have no more time to play. But they still love the sport. They like to watch, but they don't want, maybe the husbands don't allow them anymore, things like that. Maybe the husbands are, insecure because they're afraid that the wife might just kick their butts out, But there are a lot more players, actually. That's why I'm focusing on the younger generation, the younger girls. You won't believe, Jonah, I've gone around the country, and there are a lot of girls, little ones, playing. A lot. So I'm saying, where do they play? What, festivals, 7-a-side? It's not football development. To me, a festival is an R&R, rest and recreation. But that's not real football. It's football played, but football, 11-a-side. Kawawa, I pity these other girls and the coaches. The other coaches that do it because for the love of it, without getting anything in return, no monetary gain, whatever. But they're still there. There are some parents who have the clout, who have the money, who takes care of their provincial teams in the girls. Some of them from the province have moved up to the international level. They just manage this, let's say the under-16s. They just want to do it. And I can say that they're sincere there because the daughter, or some of the daughters, are playing the college level already with me. So, not like when you're in school, right? The Parents Association. They try to say, do this, do that. They'll help. Only when the kid is there, if their son or daughter is playing. But when they're out of school, let's say they graduate, they're gone also. Yeah. So it's just for their personal gain, for their own kid.
Right.
Well, I've seen some people, the daughter's already in college, but this guy is still continuously supporting the under 16. And not just from the province where he is. He supports from all over. Okay? So we need more people like this. We need more people like this. And, mind you, this is personal money. You can call them philanthropists. We need more people like this. Dan Palami is one. He started it off. I never knew who Dan was until the Ascot thing. Yeah?
Yeah. That's funny you say that about girls, because I was coaching the UFL youth, and I had a girl on my team. She was really good. She was better than half of my boys. And then I saw that there was 2 girls that played for Army, and they were really, really good. But do you think at the youth level it'll get to that point where they won't have to play with boys?
That is my hope.
Do you think there's enough girls for that
Yes,
for
yes.
age categories like that for U15, U16?
But
you got to go out and find them though.
Yeah. The problem is what I see here is some coaches don't want to gamble. I can say this proudly because I started from nothing. I worked my way up to get my players. I developed players. Like I always say, Amanda knows this. If I had a player like Leon Messi, if I had a player like Messi, but his attitude is he's such an ass, compared to a player who just started off but very good attitude, I'll leave you out. I'll take the next player. Because with the right attitude, you can develop better. You're good, but you have this attitude. Where will you end up? Who's going to get you? Yeah. For sure, you're not going to play for me. I don't care who you are. Even if you're the son of or the daughter of my friend, a close friend, or even if you're related to me, one way or another. Let's say you're my niece, my nephew, but you're a prick. You're a bitch. Go cry to your mommy. But I don't care. That's why people say I'm very harsh. No, that's the best thing I have to do. You can't just accept everything. Like I always tell my coaches and other coaches from other schools and clubs, if you cannot, protect your program, for example, no? As long as it's legit, no fooling around, no hanky-panky, and then because there are a lot of parents now, especially now, more than ever, where they think that their kids are the best players in the world, that their daughter, their son has to be in the lineup, has to be in the first 11. I tell my coaches and like the other coaches from all over, if they want to listen, if you cannot answer to those parents, then I suggest you find another job. Okay? Don't be a coach if you don't know how to answer. Because coaching is not just, okay, this is how you kick. This is how you head, you dribble. No, that's not coaching. Not to me, at least. That's why with the Archers, I'm a little bit hands-off. I talk to the players personally, on my own personal time, not during the game. As you notice, I never sit on the bench. I've never sat on the bench.
That's true.
I'm always out. Because I don't want to meddle with management. I don't want to meddle with the coaches. Even if I was the one who took the coaches. I was the one who got them. And some of the players, okay? So, the thing is, you need to have balls here in the Philippines. Well, actually not in the Philippines only, all over. I'm sure in Guam, in the States, especially in the States, because I've seen it. You can see that when we go to golf there. When we go to the European tournaments, oh my God, the parents. The problem are the parents, actually. It's good for them to send the kids to play. But please, stay away. Leave the coaching to the coaches. And if once you believe that your son or your daughter is the best player in the world, then I've seen this. In the 3 decades I've been coaching, I've seen it, a lot of kids who stop playing because of the parents. They get embarrassed. Some of them get really pissed off. Leave me alone. Decades ago, I saw from ISM, International School, Italian, good player. He's an ass. But we found out why he was an ass, because when his dad came over, I heard one time him shouting at his dad, "Shut up." He shouted at the dad, "Shut up."
I would have killed him if that was my kid.
We have 5 more minutes.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That goes same with people in management. All right? if you want to do something for the sport, don't just talk. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it. You know, I mean, what will stop you? What are you afraid of? If you're afraid of failure, then I suggest you stay home in bed. Don't go out of the house. Right?
It's true.
I mean, why go somewhere and think about failure right away? How will you know if you're going to fail if you never tried doing anything for it? So that's what I believe in.
Amanda, do you have any more questions for Coach Hans?
No, do you?
Dude, I have no more questions.
Well, I have one last question. Where do you see women's football in the next 5 years?
That's a big question. Like I've been
In a
saying.
nutshell.
No, I can't say, because like I've been saying earlier, Amanda, is if we get the support, like for example me personally, if I get all the support that I need to do something for women's football, I'd say in 5 years we'll have a lot of real, concrete programs wherein, you know, the girls look forward to it. Not like now, it's like, like chambahan. How do you say chambahan?
Fluke.
It comes out like, one time, big time.
Yeah.
Okay, there's one here. Oi, let's join. Next year, no more.
There has to be a consistent avenue for women to develop the sport, as well as women who are trying to bring other women together, forming their own teams and trying to compete, because that's the only way you're going to get a steady stream of women who are continuously developing and sharing the sport with other people. Yeah.
Women. That's all I gotta say about that. Women.
Hey, don't forget, Jonah, your mom also
She didn't play football though, so. All right, guys. Well, I think that's all the time we have. Want to thank Coach Hans for coming in here and taking over our show and his wise words. If you guys want his email or Twitter or where he lives, if the guys that want to kill him now, we'll
you know where I work.
Yeah, he's not a hard man to find if you guys are trying to kill him or anything. Got anything to say?
No, thank you so much, Coach Hans, for being
Sure.
here. I know the time was very restricted to the amount of things that you wanted to probably share, but this is just a starting point. And if you guys have any questions for him or for any of us, you can definitely contact us on Facebook or Twitter. We'd love to hear your questions. We hope that this little show tonight inspired you to sort of think about where are you headed, and if you're involved in politics, why don't you just try and do something? Things
And
like
if you're a woman or women,
try out for CCAT.
Football is growing and they're trying to make it better for you guys. I got nothing more to say about women's football.
No, there's one more I forgot to say. Another trivia. UAP women's football was done because of one person who lobbied for it for 4 years before he was successful to get women's football into the UAP. And only one person also was given the idea for the university games. Now I'm going to say it out when people see. I think I deserve it now. So
that person was you? That person was him, guys.
Well,
No, because no.
Congratulations.
I just want to say that, like I said, I don't want to put myself on a pedestal, but for the others who likes to go around the bush with me, think twice first, because you don't know where you're coming from.
All right, calling you out, guys. All right, well, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I want to thank Beyond the Box. I want to thank Mizuno. I want to thank Progenics. If you guys haven't checked out Progenics yet, please check out Progenics, especially if you're an athlete. It's amazing protein. Mizuno, check out Mizuno. They got amazing boots. They got good deals going on right now. And Beyond the Box for having us here again on another night. Amanda, you got anyone you want to thank? And please do not greet your boyfriend this week.
Okay. I just really want to thank Coach Hans.
Greet your boyfriend if you like.
I'm good.
You're good now?
I'm good.
All right, guys, that's it. Thank you. Thanks, Coach Hans, for being here.
Sure.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. To be looking out on Twitter if it'll be Wednesday or Friday night. We'll let you know. Take care. Peace.
Have a great night, everyone.